Hey people, it's Niall Stokey. This is from CNBC.com. Doctors say CDC should warn people the side effects from COVID vaccine shots won't be a walk in the park. The CDC must be transparent about the side effects people may experience after getting their first shot of a coronavirus vaccine, doctors urged during a meeting Monday with CDC advisors. Dr. Sandra Freihofer said that both Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines require 2 doses, and she worries whether her patients will come back for a second dose because of potentially unpleasant side effects after the first shot. Both companies acknowledge that the vaccines could induce side effects that are similar to symptoms associated with mild COVID-19, such as muscle pains, chills, and headaches. Public health officials and drug makers need to warn people that coronavirus vaccine shots may have some rough side effects so they know what to expect and aren't scared away from getting the second dose, doctors urged during a meeting with Monday with CDC advisors. The recommendations come as states prepare to distribute the potentially life-saving vaccines as early as next month. Dr. Sandra Freihofer of the American Medical Association said both Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines require 2 doses at varying intervals. As a practicing physician, she said she worries whether her patients will come back for a second dose because of the potentially unpleasant side effects they may experience after the first shot. We really need to make patients aware this is not going to be a walk in the park, Freihofer said during a virtual meeting with the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, an outside group of medical experts that advises the CDC. She is also a liaison to the committee. They are going to know they had a vaccine. They are probably not going to feel wonderful, but they've got to come back for the second dose. Participants in Moderna and Pfizer's COVID vaccine trials told CNBC in September they were experiencing high fever, body aches, bad headaches, day-long exhaustion, and other symptoms after receiving the shot. While the symptoms were uncomfortable and at times intense, the participants said they often went away after a day, sometimes sooner, and it was better than getting COVID-19. I'm going to remind you of a meme. If you ever feel stupid, just remember there are people avoiding other people to stop themselves getting a disease that they're going to inject themselves with anyway. Oh god, stupidity is endless. Both companies acknowledge that their vaccines could induce side effects that are similar to symptoms associated with mild COVID-19, such as muscle pain, chills, and headache. One North Carolina woman in the Moderna study, who's in her 50s, said she didn't experience a fever but suffered a bad migraine that left her drained for a day and unable to focus. She said she woke up the next day feeling better after taking Excedrin, but added that Moderna may need to tell people to take a day off after a second dose. Well, she wins the Darwinism Award. If this proves to work, people are going to have to toughen up, she said. The first dose is no big deal, and the second dose will definitely put you down for the day for sure. Or put you down permanently. You'll need to take a day off after the second dose. During the meeting on Monday, Dr. Nancy Messonnier, director of the CDC's National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, said the agency would work to develop guidance if a healthcare worker got a vaccine and then felt unwell the next day. How does that impact planning on a hospital level in terms of which staff gets vaccinated which day? Patsy Stinchfield, Children's Minnesota nurse practitioner, said officials and drug makers could try talking about the side effects in a more positive way. She said they could use language such as response instead of adverse reaction. Again, this is Orwellian terms, newspeak. Changing words to have different meanings. A response is when someone does something in response to something else. What do you call it? A response that your body is having a reaction to the foreign agent that has been put into your body. Adverse reaction is the right word because your body is reacting very badly to something. These are immune responses, said Sinchfield, a past voting member of the committee, and so if you feel something after vaccination, you should expect to feel that. When you do, it's normal to have some arm soreness or fatigue, some body aches, and maybe a fever. It sounds like in some of the trials, maybe even having to stay home from work. Dr. Grace Lee, a professor of pediatrics at the Stanford University School of Medicine, agreed, saying a coronavirus infection could be detrimental to an entire family. If they have to miss 14 days of work, that's a huge amount to miss, said Lee, who is a member of the ACIP, told the CDC. I think we do have to think about the vaccine itself. While there may be some short-term work loss issues, I do think it has to be balanced with the risk of getting an infection. Stinchfield said some people in trials have actually been disappointed when they don't suffer the side effects being reported by others, thinking they must have gotten the placebo. The committee meeting comes 3 days after Pfizer and its partner biotech applied for an emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration for their corona vaccine. The FDA process is expected to take a few weeks. An advisory committee meeting to review the vaccine has been scheduled for early December. Some Americans could get their first dose of the vaccine in about a month. I'll just stop you right there. So, for anybody who has the money, you might want to invest in Pfizer and AstraZeneca stocks because a lot of stupid people are going to be taking this shot and their stocks will obviously rise as a result. Well, actually, I'm not a financial advisor, so Don't take my word as gospel, but I'm just thinking that's going to happen. Again, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. ACIP is expected to call an emergency meeting to make specific recommendations on distribution once the FDA authorizes a vaccine. Federal agencies are already sending vaccination plans around to staff. 5 agencies have started telling employees they could receive Pfizer or Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine in as little as 8 weeks. A person with first-hand knowledge of those plans told CNBC on Friday. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, and actually, let me just finish off. For those who follow this channel, I reported on an outbreak of polio in Sudan that was caused by the vaccine. Remember, when they tell you that the vaccines are safe, they're lying. Even one person getting infected from a vaccine is enough proof that that is not 100% safe. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you like to support this channel, leave my GoFundMe there. If you like to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that there as well. If you would like to buy one of my t-shirts, you can check them out. Peace. Actually, and just to finish off, again, what I was saying about buying any stocks, always never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Peace.